We're going to talk about persuasion and conversion strategies so certain of success they ought to require a weapons permit. In other words, we're going to be talking about some very, very deep, very ninja, very persuasive, very, I don't want to say advanced, but yeah, I'm going to keep it very, very simple for you, because what I'm going to do with you is I'm going to share with you ideas and strategies that I have been implementing in my business. You know, we got to the point to where we're going to be talking about the fun part. We're going to be talking about like how do you get money, right, from your prospects, from from your list, from your traffic, right? I don't think there is anything else that's more important for a marketer to learn and understand, right? Other than, the stuff we're going to be talking about right now in this video, right? So obviously traffic is important, but conversion is just as important. If you don't know how to convert your traffic into leads and leads into customers, you don't have a business, right? So in this video, we're going to be talking exactly about that stuff. All right, so let's talk about strategic influence. There is 5 conversion breakthroughs, and each one of these can be worth $1 million for you or more in your business. This stuff is very important. Very, very few people understand this. Okay, number 1 is power. Okay, breakthrough number 1 is power. Listen, the number 1 form of self-sabotage, okay, is doing things incrementally better. What do I mean by this? If you are a marketer, okay, and you're gonna say, you know what, I'm gonna do things, I'm driving traffic, I'm just gonna get a little bit better traffic, I'm gonna get a little bit more traffic, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna just do business, a little bit better than my competition, right? This is the number 1 form of self-sabotage, business sabotage, is doing things incrementally better. What you wanna do is you wanna step out and you just wanna go for the big breakthrough, okay? That's the way to do it. Now, check this out. The last thing you want to appear to others as is just another fill in the blank. Okay, so if you are a marketer, if you're an affiliate marketer, the last thing you want to be known for or be perceived as is just another marketer. Think about that. Listen, businesses, this is what's going on. Businesses are, the gatekeepers in businesses, right, companies, they're trained to keep salespeople away, right? There are signs on doors, that businesses put up. Have you ever seen those? No solicitation, no soliciting allowed, right? There's communities, gated communities that we all see, all right, have these signs saying, you know what? No solicitation allowed. People are keeping salespeople away from them. Nobody wants to deal with a salesperson, right? If you're a marketer, if you're selling something, the last thing you want to be known as or perceived as just another salesperson. Now, the problem is most people in our space, that's exactly how they appear. You can't look like a salesperson, you can't act like a salesperson, you can't speak like a salesperson, right? Because if you are, if you're looking like a salesperson, if you acting or speaking like a salesperson, guess what? You are a salesperson, and people don't like salespeople. People love to buy, but they hate salespeople. You go to a shopping center, right? Shopping mall, and you're looking around. You came to buy something, right? The salesman comes to you and he's like, "Hey, can I help you?" What do you say? "No, just look and thank you," right? You came to buy stuff, right? We're conditioned. We don't even think about it. It's all subconscious. Okay, very, very important to think about. Now, selling is about power. For selling to be easy and price to be relevant, doesn't matter what you do, right? The salesman, the affiliate marketer, the network marketer, whoever you are, right, must be perceived by the buyer as having all the power. So in other words, we want to strategically and deliberately take the power from the buyer, which is, we all know the buyer has all the power because they got all the money, right? And we want some of that money. If you want some of that money, from every single dollar you're going to make, it's going to come from people. It's going to come from your buyers. Make sense? So your idea, right, your challenge, I don't even say challenge. I mean, it's not really a challenge. It's actually very easy to do this if you do it right, if you do it genuine, right? But the idea is to take the power away from the buyer and remove it and put it into your corner, okay? So the buyer perceives you as having the power. Very, very important. How do you do that? There are certain things you can do to engineer the power, okay, and be perceived as powerful. So there is this thing called the power pyramid, okay? I'm just going to go through this quickly. If you've been following me for any period of time, you've probably seen this. So at the very bottom, there is this thing called generalist, okay? Generalist. And then a step above that is a specialist. Okay, a step above specialist, okay, is an authority. A step above authority is celebrity. A step above celebrity is, guess what? Is a celebrity, an authority, and a specialist. Okay, so this is like the pyramid of power. Okay, now the idea. Most marketers in your space, in my space, right, in the area, in our community here, most marketers are just generalists. Okay, that's what that they're just another marketer. Does that make sense? So they are perceived as such. In the offline world, right, let's say doctor's area, right, a generalist, it's a family doctor, right? Then a specialist is a step above that, right? A specialist, you're being looked at differently, right? If you are a marketer, right, you never want to be the generalist. You never want to be just another affiliate pushing the product. You say, Vic, how do I engineer that? It's actually very easy. I want to give you some ideas here how you can go out there and start getting yourself, raise yourself above this level. The higher up you go, the easier it is for you to sell stuff. The more powerful you are. Think about celebrity, authority, and specialist. Okay, think of like Donald Trump. Okay, in the real estate area, he is a celebrity, right? How do you become a celebrity? Listen, if people see you on video, if that's what you want, right? You are a celebrity. How do we know that people are celebrities? Because we see them on video, on televisions, right? It's pretty simple, right? An authority. We're going to talk about authority here in just a minute, but you want to be an authority at least at this level right here. Okay, at least an authority and a celebrity. Okay, at least. Here you're making less than $100 a month. Okay, here you're making into thousands. Maybe good 5,000 to 10,000 a month or so, right? When you're a specialist, when you're an authority, when you get here, your income here, if I had to kind of like categorize it, it'd probably be between anywhere from 10, 20, 30 up to maybe 100,000 a month over here, right? When you get here, right, you are probably looking at about 100,000 plus per month. When you get here, you're looking at 500,000 a month and beyond, okay, income in our space. So the idea is for you, it doesn't matter if you're just getting started today, right? If you have been around the block, think about this. You don't want to be here, okay? How can you raise yourself up the ladder? I'm going to show you specific examples of what I've done in my business to raise myself automatically and naturally to become celebrity authority without even trying. Okay? And I started from scratch, and you can model that. I'm going to talk about we're going to talk about lead magnets and how to structure that. That can be all arranged, right? And that can be all engineered. That's why we call it insane conversion engineering, because you can actually engineer this stuff. You can do this. You can do this. You just need to know how to do this, okay? So let's talk about authority, okay? How do you structure authority, right? What is authority? Well, authority is basically when you are not being questioned, okay? You go to, you go to a doctor who's a specialist. You have a heart problem, God forbid, or whatever, right? And an authority specialist tells you, you know what? You got to go get those pills. You got to do this MRI. You're going to do this. You don't even question them. You don't say, well, how can I do this instead? No, you're just gonna do what they tell you to do. Okay? How can you get that same compliance within your marketplace? It's possible. Okay? Watch. You become an authority when you are an expert at something. Okay? Even if it's just one thing, even if it's just, you gotta be, if you have a story right now, right, and you're struggling, and you're gonna break through because you're gonna follow the advice I'm gonna tell you, right, and you're gonna say, I'm gonna help, I'm gonna use my story wherever I'm at today, because this story that you have right now, my friend, your current situation, I don't know you, I don't know what you're going through, right, I don't know your financial situation, but whatever it is right now, if it's bad, if you think like you're going through some valleys right now in life, this one day can be your biggest asset in your business. Does that make sense? All right? So you can become an expert at one thing and you be perceived authoritative, okay? Now you become, you gain this authority when you are, when you can say yes and no. Okay, so when you're being perceived as powerful, and being perceived as powerful is when you have an ability to say yes or no, right? When you have prospects coming to you and they say, hey, you had that promotion going on and it's already ended, and I've got money in my hands right now. I want to give it to you right now. Can you take it? Can you let me in? You're gonna say no, right? Because you truly, you gotta keep it like that, right? You have the ability, you have the power to say yes and no. I have so many people contacting me, and they're asking for private coaching. Vic, can you take me in for a private student? And because that's not what I focus on at this particular moment, right? I say no. And people are, hey, I'm gonna pay you $100,000, $200,000 for a month to just coach me. I say no. It's not because Vic is being this bad guy. It's not even about the money. Right? It's never about the money. It's because that's not what I'm focusing on right now. Does that make sense? Right? So it's being able to say no when you need to, right? And when it's not about the money, right? You become authoritative. Does that make sense? Right? So you become you become an authority when you are an authoritative, right? So when you speak like an authority, when you walk like an authority, when you dress like an authority, when you present, when you talk to people, when you look at somebody, when you do your videos, right? How are you being perceived as, right? If you are an authority, you don't really care about outcome that much, right? All I can do is I can share with you stuff that I know, right? That I know. And it's going to be up to you to implement. I can't make you do it. I can't make you watch this video to the end, right? And I'm not going to worry about it, right? I'm just going to put my best stuff out there, right? And I'm going to be talking like I know what I'm talking about, because that's what and I'm going to be genuine about it. And I will not be connected to the outcome. I will not be attached to the outcome. Does that make sense, right? In that case, you become authoritative. Now, being an authority is when you show up like nobody else. I'm going to walk you through a specific example here shortly. But when you want to engineer, you want to come up with this shock and awe entrance, right? When I start a brand new campaign or a brand new promotion, or if I go and I promote a new company or whatever, right? If it's something I believe in, you know what? I never do what everybody else is doing. I'm going to enter. I'm going to show up like nobody else. Right? And that's really, really important. So what happens before the sale is important, okay? And all this stuff is going to be engineered.